Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there was a grand castle where a handsome prince lived. Despite his wealth and good looks, the prince was selfish and unkind. One winter's night, an old beggar woman arrived at the castle seeking shelter from the bitter cold. In return for his kindness, she offered him a single red rose. Disgusted by her appearance, the prince turned her away. Suddenly, the beggar woman transformed into a beautiful enchantress. To teach the prince a lesson about true beauty, she cast a spell on him, turning him into a hideous beast. She also transformed all the inhabitants of the castle into household objects. She left the prince with a magical rose and warned him that if he could not learn to love another and earn their love in return before the last petal fell, he would remain a beast forever. Years passed, and the beast lost all hope. But in a nearby village, there lived a girl named Belle. She was beautiful and loved to read books. Her father, Maurice, was an inventor. One day, Maurice got lost in the woods and stumbled upon the beast's castle. The beast captured him for trespassing. Belle, worried about her father, set out to find him. When she found the castle, she bravely offered to take her father's place. The beast was gruff and intimidating, but Belle saw beyond his frightening appearance. She discovered the enchanted rose and realized the importance of showing kindness. Slowly, the beast's heart began to soften. They spent their days together, reading stories and exploring the castle. Belle's warmth and courage touched everyone, including the enchanted objects who adored her. One day, Belle discovered her father was in trouble, so she asked the beast to let her go to him. Heartbroken, the beast agreed, showing Belle that he truly loved her by setting her free. As Belle returned home, the village mob, led by a hunter named Gaston, decided to attack the castle, believing the beast to be dangerous. With courage and love in her heart, Belle returned to the castle to warn the beast. In the ensuing battle, the beast and Gaston fought atop the castle. Ultimately, the beast defeated Gaston, who fell from the rooftop. Wounded, the beast lay dying, but Belle wept and confessed her love for him. As the last petal fell, the curse was lifted. The beast transformed back into the prince he once was. The castle and its inhabitants also regained their human forms. Overjoyed, Belle and the prince shared a joyful embrace, for only true love could break the spell. And so, they lived happily ever after, cherishing the love that had transformed them both. The castle gates opened once more, welcoming all who sought the beauty found within.
Once upon a time, there was a little girl named Goldilocks. She had lovely golden hair that shone in the sunlight. One day, while exploring the forest near her home, she came across a cozy little cottage. Curious, she knocked on the door, but no one answered. Feeling adventurous, she pushed the door open and stepped inside. Goldilocks found herself in a warm kitchen where a delicious smell filled the air. On the table, there were 3 bowls of porridge. Being quite hungry, Goldilocks decided to try the porridge from the biggest bowl. Ouch! This porridge is too hot, she exclaimed, quickly moving to the next one. The medium-sized bowl was much too cold, but the smallest bowl was just right, and she ate it all up. After her meal, Goldilocks felt very sleepy. She wandered into the living room where she found 3 chairs. She climbed into the biggest chair, but it was too hard. The medium-sized chair was too soft. However, the tiniest chair was just right. As she sat, it broke to pieces, causing her to tumble to the ground with a thud. A bit shaken, Goldilocks still felt sleepy, so she made her way upstairs. There she found 3 beds. The first bed was too hard, the next was too soft, but the third one was just right, and Goldilocks fell asleep. Unbeknownst to Goldilocks, the cottage belonged to 3 bears: Daddy Bear, Mummy Bear, and Baby Bear. They returned home from their walk and noticed someone had been eating their porridge. Daddy Bear growled, "Someone's been eating my porridge." Mummy Bear said, "Someone's been eating my porridge." And Baby Bear cried out, "Someone's been eating my porridge too, and they've eaten it all up." In the living room, they saw their chairs had been used. Daddy Bear grumbled, "Someone's been sitting in my chair," while Mummy Bear echoed, "Someone's been sitting in my chair," and Baby Bear squeaked, Someone's been sitting in my chair and it's broken. Finally, they went upstairs. Someone's been sleeping in my bed, growled Daddy Bear. Someone's been sleeping in my bed too, said Mummy Bear. And Baby Bear wailed, someone's been sleeping in my bed, and she's still here. Goldilocks woke up to the sight of the three bears looking at her. Startled and a little frightened, she jumped up and ran out of the house as fast as her legs could carry her. She ran all the way home, promising herself she would never enter a strange house again. And so, the bears fixed their home and all their things, and Goldilocks learned a valuable lesson about respecting others' belongings. From that day on, she was a bit more careful whenever she explored the forest. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling green hills, lived two best friends, Oliver and Emma. They were known throughout the village for their adventurous spirits and bright smiles. One sunny morning, they decided to meet at their favorite spot, the giant oak tree by the river. Emma arrived first, bringing along a basket full of her grandma's delicious cookies. Oliver soon joined her, carrying his magnifying glass, a gift from his grandfather who used to be a detective. They both sat under the shade of the oak, laughing and munching on cookies. As they were chatting and enjoying their treats, Emma noticed something peculiar. Oliver, did you see that? One of the cookies has disappeared. Oliver, with eyes wide open, exclaimed, looks like we have a mystery to solve. The two friends decided to investigate. They remembered a story about a squirrel known for snatching snacks. Excitedly, Oliver used his magnifying glass to inspect the ground for clues. Emma pointed to a series of tiny footprints leading away from the basket. Look, Oliver, these weren't here before. Following the trail, they reached a tree with a little opening. Inside, to their surprise, they spotted a squirrel nibbling on their cookie. It looked at them with big eyes, pausing mid-bite. Instead of being upset, they laughed. Looks like you solved our mystery, Emma giggled. Oliver nodded. Good, it still leaves us plenty to share. From that day on, Oliver and Emma became the village's best junior detectives. Whenever something went missing, the villagers would chuckle and say, call Oliver and Emma. They'll solve your mystery. And as for the squirrel, it became their friend too, often playing around the oak tree while they enjoyed their adventures.
Once upon a time, in a serene village bordered by dense, sprawling forests, there lived two close friends named Peter and Sam. They were inseparable and did everything together, from attending school to playing games in the fields. They were known for their friendship, which was as strong as it was deep. One sunny afternoon, Peter and Sam decided to explore the nearby forest, a place rumored to be home to various animals, including a fearsome bear. Excited yet slightly apprehensive, they armed themselves with nothing but courage and sticks as they set off on the well-trodden path into the thick woods. As the golden sunlight filtered through the lush canopy above, casting intricate patterns on the forest floor, the boys chatted and laughed, taking in the beauty of the natural world around them. They stopped occasionally to admire the colorful wildflowers and watch the birds flitting through the trees. Suddenly, their joyous exploration was interrupted by a rustling sound from the bushes. Before they could figure out what was happening, a large bear emerged, eyeing them curiously. Instinctively, fear gripped their hearts. Without thinking twice, Sam, who was the more agile of the two, quickly climbed a nearby tree. Peter knew he couldn't outrun a bear, and climbing was not an option. He remembered a piece of advice from his grandfather. Bears don't bother with things that seem lifeless. Acting on the spur of the moment, Peter flung himself onto the ground, held his breath, and lay as still as he could, feigning death. The bear approached him, sniffing around suspiciously, and for a tense moment, Peter felt its hot breath on his neck. The bear eventually lost interest and wandered off into the depths of the forest. From his perch high above, Sam watched the entire scene unfold and only descended after he was sure the danger had passed. Once back on solid ground, Sam laughed nervously and joked. That bear seemed to have whispered something in your ear. What did he say, Peter? Peter sat up, brushed the dirt from his clothes, and threw Sam a scolding look. The bear gave me some advice, he replied. It told me to be cautious when choosing friends, especially those who would leave me in times of need. Sam, understanding the weight of those words, looked down, shamefaced and apologetic. From that day on, Sam made a vow to be a better friend, never to abandon Peter, or anyone for that matter, when they were in need. Their friendship grew stronger, reinforced by the lessons they learned in the heart of the forest that day. The tale of Peter and Sam and the bear became a favorite story among the villagers, teaching everyone the value of true friendship and loyalty. Once upon a time, in a quaint little village surrounded by lush green fields, there lived a poor farmer named John. John worked tirelessly from dawn till dusk, tending to his modest farm. Despite his hard work, he could barely make ends meet. His dreams of a better life seemed to fade with every setting sun. One day, as John was inspecting his hen coop, he noticed something peculiar. Tucked under one of the sleepy hens was an egg unlike any other he had ever seen. It was sparkling and golden. Initially, John thought his eyes were playing tricks on him. He picked up the egg, gently brushing away the straw. The egg was solid gold. Its weight and shine filled John's heart with amazement and disbelief. Consumed by excitement, he hurried into the village to show his find. The villagers gathered around, eyes wide with awe and curiosity. The word of John's golden egg spread like wildfire. Realizing its worth, John sold the golden egg at the market for a handsome reward. With the money, he was finally able to purchase better seeds and tools for his farm, enriching his soil and his prospects. He even managed to repair his old, dilapidated house, making it a warm and comfortable home. Every week, like clockwork, the same hen would lay another golden egg. John's fortunes multiplied, and he became a prosperous man. However, as his wealth increased, so did his greed. One restless night, John started to ponder. He wondered if inside the hen lay a treasure trove of golden eggs. Overtaken by greed, John decided he must have all the golden eggs immediately. Against his better judgment, he took a knife and went to the coop. Under the cover of darkness, he caught the hen and cut it open. But to his horror and sorrow, there were no golden eggs inside, just ordinary hen innards. John wept for his foolishness. In his greed, he had killed the wonderful hen that had been the source of his newfound fortune. No longer did he find golden eggs waiting for him each morning. His wealth slowly dwindled away, and soon he became just as poor as before. In time, John learned from his mistake. He realized the value of patience and contentment. Instead of seeking quick wealth, he focused on what truly mattered: hard work, gratitude, and cherishing the simple pleasures life offered. The story of John and his golden hen spread across the land, serving as a timeless reminder of the dangers of greed and the importance of appreciating what one has. And so, the moral of the story is, greed can lead to ruin, but contentment brings peace. In the end, the best treasures in life are those that cannot be bought with gold.